Chapter 415. Feng Anhua grinned at Lin Yan. Lin Yan, if you don't have a boyfriend, I can introduce one to you. Lin Yan was speechless. Why had Feng Anhua become a matchmaker? The rest of the crew had left, so Lin Yan and Feng Anhua were the only ones left in the lounge. That was why Feng Anhua could talk to Lin Yan. However, they didn't know that, in one of the cubicles, there was someone sitting in Pei Nanshu's private dressing room. Pei Nanshu was waiting for Lin Yan, so he hadn't left yet. His brother, Pei Yuqing, was sitting on the couch in his makeup room. As a professional cover, Pei Nanshu had brought Pei Yuqing to his makeup room to wait for Lin Yan. He hadn't expected to hear such a conversation. Pei Nanshu looked as though he had lost all hope in life. He glanced nervously at the man on the couch. Pei Yuqing was dressed casually with a pair of gold-rimmed glasses. He leaned against the couch lazily, looking expressionless. Pei Nanshu instinctively glanced at the watch on Pei Yuqing's wrist, afraid that it would ring in the next second. What if Lin Yan said something she shouldn't? Unfortunately, he was right under Big Brother's nose, so there was no way he could inform Lin Yan. The soundproofing wasn't good, so Lin Yan and Feng Anhua's voices could be heard clearly. Feng Anhua turned to Lin Yan and said, "Lass, don't treat me as a pimp. If I introduce a man to you, he won't be too bad. Besides, it will be a legitimate relationship. After all, you have to know that it's hard to survive in this industry without connections and a strong backing, especially in your current situation. Don't think that you can sit back and relax just because you're a supporting actress. You can become famous overnight, but you can also become cold overnight. Based on what I know, the boss of Star Entertainment isn't easy to deal with. He might have let you go previously, but now that you've become so popular, do you think he will let you off so easily?" Lin Yan knew that Feng Anhua was telling the truth. "Ahem. Thank you, Producer Feng. I will be careful. I don't need a boyfriend. I just want to work hard. I don't have any plans to have a boyfriend." Lin Yan rejected him. If she had gone on a blind date behind his back, she would have to be tired of living. Feng Anhua raised his eyebrows. "How could a girl your age not want a boyfriend? Besides, you have good qualities and good looks, so you have a lot of choices. You can tell me what kind of man you like. I might not be good at other things, but I have a lot of connections. Just tell me your type, and I might be able to introduce you to someone you like." Lin Yan found it hard to reject Feng Anhua's kindness. She felt a headache coming on as she replied, Actually, I don't have any special requirements. It all depends on your feelings. As long as it felt right, as long as it's someone I like, I will unconditionally trust and give everything to him. But there's a matter of principle that is very important. Feng Anhua, what problem? Tell me. Lin Yan replied, "If you want me to spend money, I can't spend more than 100 yuan. I don't like materialistic men." Feng Anhua. Pei Nanshu, who was in the cubicle, was speechless. Mobile users, please browse and read. For a better reading experience, please visit the website. Chapter 416. Feng Anhua's expression was indescribable. After some time, he snapped back to his senses and quipped, "Ahem. Usually, you don't have to spend money. Men are the ones who spend money." Lin Yan shook her head and analyzed the situation solemnly. No. If we were dating, I would definitely split the bill. Besides, if I were to go on a date, I would have to put on makeup, right? Foundation, eyeshadow, fake eyelashes, lipstick, blush, cream, lotion. Kindy would have to put on a full set of makeup. How much would it cost? Lin Yan looked as though she was really being stingy. She didn't look like she was being perfunctory at all. She was really stingy. Feng Anhua was speechless. Pei Nanshu was speechless. Lin Yan replied, "Producer Feng, don't you think what I said makes sense? That's why dating is so expensive. I really don't want to date at all." Feng Anhua glanced at the bag in Lin Yan's hands. The only way to solve one's worries was to get rich overnight. Actually, he had expected that Lin Yan would reject him. However, he hadn't expected that she would reject him because of this. Her reason for not dating was indeed a refreshing one in the entertainment industry. In the end, Feng Anhua gave up on this idea, as he listened to Lin Yan's incessant chatter about the accounts. Lin Yan heaved a sigh of relief after Feng Anhua left. She was about to leave when she heard a creak behind her. The cubicle door had opened. Instinctively, Lin Yan turned around and saw Pei Nanxiu standing at the door. Behind him was Pei Yuqing. Lin Yan was speechless. Why was Pei Yuqing here? Didn't he have overheard Feng Anhua's proposal to introduce a boyfriend to her? Didn't he overhear her when she said that she didn't want to date? Mr. Pei, why are you here? Lin Yan smiled awkwardly, looking as though the end of the world had come. Pei Yuqing replied, I'm here to pick you up. Lin Yan replied, sorry to trouble you. Actually, I can go home myself. Pei Yuqing glanced at the girl with a faint smile. You don't like materialistic men? Lin Yan was speechless. Pei Yuqing asked, You don't want to date? Lin Yan was speechless. Sure enough, he heard it. Holy shit. Why didn't Mr. Pei send her a message? Pei Nanshi rubbed his nose helplessly when he met Lin Yan's aggrieved gaze. How would he dare to play tricks under his brother's nose? Lin Yan looked bitter as she racked her brain for an explanation. Pei Yuqing glanced at her and said unhurriedly, Actually, there is a solution. Ha! Lin Yan was startled. What solution? Pei Yuqing met the girl's confused eyes and said slowly, Marry me. Lin Yan was speechless. Lin Yan was almost scared to death. Ahem. What? What did you say? Even Pei Nanxiu, who was standing by the side, choked and coughed repeatedly. Pei Yuqing replied calmly, After we get married, we don't need to split the profits. As for the money, there won't be a division between us. You'll be in charge of all my assets. Lin Yan was speechless. Big boss. This was too much. You can't do this. The richest man in the country was standing in front of her and telling her to marry him. She would be in charge of all his money. Who could stand this? Meanwhile, in the small theater, Pei Yuqing replied, Marry me. All my money will be yours. Lin Yan replied, I'll marry you. Second embarrassment typed. That's the end of the article. P.S. There will be a new chapter at midnight today. Chapter 417. In the face of such a powerful attack, Lin Yan was almost corrupted by money. She blurted out, I'll marry you. Fortunately, she snapped out of it at the last moment. Lin Yan muttered to herself, trying to calm herself down. No. A gentleman loves money, but he has to earn it in the right way. No way. You can't reap without sowing. When Pei Yuqing heard the girl's muttering, he held her hand gently and said gently, Miss Lin, you're being biased. You obtained this method legitimately. The man's voice was bewitching and irresistible. Lin Yan's confidence crumbled again. She had been brainwashed by him and felt that he was right. If she married him, she would have obtained it legitimately. Fortunately, Zhao Hongling's sudden call interrupted the conversation and saved her. Let me answer the call. Lin Yan, who felt as though a weight had been lifted from her shoulders, scrambled to the side to answer the call. Hello, Sister Ling. Everything went smoothly. You don't have to come and pick me up. I can go home on my own. A lot of companies have approached us recently. I have also received some books. I'll sort them out and send them to you. Alright, no problem. Thank you for your hard work, Sister Ling. At the same time, in Du Pengxing's office on the top floor of Star Entertainment, Du Pengxing glanced at the trending topics on Weibo. Lin Yan's name had occupied a few spots, and the box office sales for Meeting One's match had skyrocketed. Thanks to its reputation, it had risen to the top of the box office. Lin Yan's status had naturally risen along with it. Needless to say, many companies had approached her. Based on Lin Yan's popularity, she would definitely make a fortune. Du Pengxing's face darkened when he saw Lin Yan's sudden outburst. Gao Jiwei and Qian, who were standing in the middle of the office, looked equally gloomy. Gao Jiwei, you were the one who promised that Lin Yan wouldn't become popular, and asked her to terminate the contract. Now you've let go of a cash cow. You have to give me an explanation. Du Pengxing smashed a stack of newspapers on Gao Jiwei's head in a fit of rage. At this moment, Gao Jiwei's intestines were green with regret. If he hadn't terminated his contract with Lin Yan, she would have been his artist. He would have been able to make a fortune with her popularity. He had helped Enchantian pull some strings and gotten so many resources. However, the popularity of Lin Yan's role couldn't compare to that of a supporting actress. Enchantian was jealous and angry at the same time. Initially, she had wanted Lin Yan to help her deal with the investor. Who would have thought that this unknown person would become so popular overnight? One of the advertisers who had wanted her to be their spokesperson had gone to look for Lin Yan instead. The more Du Pengxing thought about it, the angrier he got. 7 days. Only 7 more days. If he had known earlier, he would have waited for the 3-month deadline to be up. Things wouldn't have ended up like this. Gao Jiwei, I kicked Zhao Hongling out and brought you up. Is this what you want to show me? I think you can't even compare to Zhao Hongling's little finger. Trash. Du Pengxing had no idea that Zhao Hongling's little artist, who had a bad reputation, had actually become famous. If they had followed their agreement and waited for 3 months, given Zhao Hongling's current popularity, she would have been able to help Zhao Hongling achieve her goal of topping the sales charts within 3 months. Chapter 418. It was a pity that Gao Jiwei couldn't wait to chase Zhao Hongling away. While Du Pengxing didn't care about Zhao Hongling and Lin Yan, who had lost all their value, he had let Lin Yan the cash cow go a few days. Just a few days more now. The entire industry was waiting for him to make a fool of himself. They were saying that he had been blind to terminate his contract with Lin Yan at this critical juncture. How could he not be angry? They had even used their official accounts to announce that they had terminated Lin Yan's contract. There was no way they could take back their words. Gao Jiwei, who had been scolded, bowed and apologized profusely. President Du, please calm down. Calm down. So what if Lin Yan is famous now? She has no backing or background. Even if she wants to jump ship, no big company would want her. It's too easy for me to deal with her. Everything is under my control. President Du, don't worry. I have a way to make her come back. Du Pengxing snorted coldly. That better be the case. Gao Jiwei's eyes gleamed with malice. He had seen plenty of artists like Lin Yan. She shouldn't think that she could escape his clutches just because she was famous. No way. He wasn't Zhao Hongling, who would be so soft-hearted as to let an artist like Jiang Sifei go so easily. At Cloud Manor, Lin Yan had asked Zhao Hongling and confirmed that she could finally go online. Thus Lin Yan, who had been holding back for a few days, logged on to Weibo and posted, "Did I get rich today?" Nope. In the past, there would be hundreds of comments on Lin Yan's Weibo, and every single one of them was cursing and sarcastic. After this Weibo post was posted, the style of the comments was like this. F*CK. Sister, we've been waiting for you to post this for so many days. In the end, it's this again? Can't you change to another post? I'm looking forward to the stills. Where are the stills? Shouldn't you be taking advantage of the popularity to post some stills? Ahem. How badly does Lin Yan want to get rich? There was nothing on this account. Every Weibo post was the same. When we scolded her, she pretended not to see it and never replied. Even when she saw anti-fans cursing her to never have a man for the rest of her life, she did not react at all. In the end, someone cursed her that she would never be able to get rich overnight. She immediately jumped out and replied with 2 words, rebound. Ha 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 ha. Have you guys realized that Lin Yan's style has changed drastically since a few months ago? She's been letting herself go. It's said that all of her itineraries were arranged by her assistant. Later, her assistant resigned, and from then on, she started to change her style. She hasn't been causing trouble for a long time. Also, in today's live broadcast of the promotional event, the host interviewed her. In fact, her personality is quite likable. At that time, the questions were drawn on the spot, and there was no advance preparation. She answered them all by herself. Due to the popularity of the movie, the comments on Lin Yan's Weibo page had become much friendlier. In the past, most of them had been scolding her. Now there were more jokes and even some comments that had changed sides. Of course, there were still a large number of deep-rooted haters. What the hell? Isn't it just a supporting role? It was only a few minutes. Yet, she has become so popular. First, she dragged Pei Nanshu along with her. Then she dragged Wei Shifeng along with her. Now she dragged Han Yishuan along with her. How is this not causing trouble? A dog can't change its spots, alright? Chapter 419. In the master bedroom next door, Pei Yuqing stood quietly in front of the window, and there was a small night light by the bed. He had been too impatient today. The more he had, the more greedy he had become. How could he have hoped that she would say I do willingly? The next night, Star Entertainment invited Lin Yan and Zhao Hongling to the company, claiming that there were some details that needed to be amended. In Gao Jiwei's office, the secretary warmly invited Lin Yan and Zhao Hongling to take a seat and served them some tea. Gao Jiwei's attitude had taken a 180-degree turn compared to the day he had chased them out of the company. Lin Yan, have a seat. Sister Ling, have a seat too. Have a taste of my superior Longjing before the Ming festival. Gao Jiwei said with a smile. And Qianqian suppressed her displeasure and chimed in eagerly. Everyone has been arguing recently. Actually, Brother Wei hasn't been feeling good either. However, we are a family, so it's normal for us to argue. We have worked together for so many years, so home is still the best. Gao Jiwei hurriedly chimed in. Qianqian is right. It's tough for the two of you to work alone. Why don't you return to the company? As for the conditions, we can talk about it. Lin Yan and Zhao Hongling exchanged glances. Gao Jiwei had indeed wanted to drag them back to the company. Lin Yan leaned against the couch and replied leisurely. Oh, what kind of treatment is Director Gao going to give us? Gao Jiwei thought that it was a game when he heard Lin Yan's words. He grinned and replied, as long as you return to the company and sign a new contract, you can work under me as the director of the talent recruitment department. As for Sister Ling, you can be my assistant, and I will double your salary. Lin Yan almost burst out laughing when she heard Gao Jiwei's tone, as though they had taken advantage of the situation. His terms hadn't changed at all. He still wanted her to work for him and get Sister Ling to help him. The only difference was that she would be paid a few thousand yuan more. He had said that he wanted to talk to them, but he didn't sound sincere at all. Zhao Hongling's face sank when she heard Gao Jiwei's words. Is this Mr. Du's idea? Gao Jiwei looked a little unhappy when he heard that. I'm in charge of the talent recruitment department. My orders are Chairman Du's orders. Lin Yan snorted coldly. Du Jiping was blind as well. Star Entertainment had only been in Gao Jiwei's hands for a few days, but he had already turned the company into a mess. Complaints and complaints were everywhere. Yet he had left everything to Gao Jiwei. She originally thought that Du Pengxing would see things clearly this time and personally invite Zhao Hongling back. She didn't expect that he wouldn't even show his face for the sake of his so-called face. He was still acting all high and mighty. However, it was no wonder that he was so unscrupulous. With her current situation, although she was temporarily famous, her previous reputation was deeply rooted. Basically, big companies would not want her, and small companies were also watching. If they wanted to re-sign with a company, they had very little choice. They were certain that she and Zhao Hongling had nowhere to go, which was why they were so generous. Zhao Hongling noticed Gao Jiwei's attitude and knew that there was no need to talk further. I'm sorry, Director Gao. We can't agree to your terms. Chapter 420. When Gao Jiwei heard this, a dark look flashed across his eyes. What? Do you think that my offer isn't good enough? Sister Ling, you've been in the industry for so many years, so you should know very well that she's lucky that I'm willing to take her in. Does she really think that she can become an A-list celebrity overnight, just because she's a supporting actress? Sister Ling, are you that naive? The netizens' attention is shifting so quickly. Without the company's support, she will fall back to where she came from in a few days. Zhao Hongling didn't want to argue with Gao Jiwei. Lin Yan has already signed with another company. It's a pity that you're too late, Director Gao. Gao Jiwei, who had wanted to play the game of carrot and stick, froze when he heard Zhao Hongling. What did you say? She has already signed with another company? Zhao Hongling replied, yes. And Qianqian was stunned as well. That fast? How is that possible? Lin Yan had only terminated her contract with the company a week ago. She had only become famous a few days ago. How could she have signed with another company so quickly? Signing a contract would take at least half a month, even if it went through the normal procedures. Gao Jiwei didn't believe her. Zhao Hongling, do you think that I'm an amateur? Who are you going to sign with in such a short time? Director Gao, who we sign with has nothing to do with you, right? Lin Yan grinned and stood up. She grabbed Zhao Hongling's arm and said, Director Gao, goodbye. Gao Jiwei finally tore off his mask. Lin Yan, don't be so shameless. You'd better think this through. Don't blame me for not reminding you that Star Entertainment isn't a place where you can come and go as you please. Lin Yan didn't even pause as she held Zhao Hongling's arm and left. After leaving Star Entertainment, Zhao Hongling massaged her temples wearily. Lin Yan asked with concern, Sister Ling, are you all right? Zhao Hongling shook her head. I'm just worried. Gao Jiwei is unscrupulous and unscrupulous. I'm afraid that he might do something to you. Many artists have tried to leave the company in the past, but he has done so. Lin Yan grinned nonchalantly. Sister Ling, have you forgotten who our new owner is? Zhao Hongling froze for a moment before she burst out laughing. Summit Entertainment. I almost forgot. Gao Jiwei only had a few tricks up his sleeves. He might be able to deal with a small-time artist, but things were different now. They had signed with Summit Entertainment, and Gao Jiwei's tricks were nothing in front of them. I'll give team leader a call and report the situation here, just in case, Zhao Hongling said. All right, thank you, Sister Ling. Gao Jiwei's plan was faster than Lin Yan had expected. The next night, a piece of gossip about Lin Yan became a hot topic on the internet. Due to Lin Yan's popularity, it became the #1 trending topic within a day. The trending topic was rather eye-catching. Lin Yan's offer to sleep with him was rejected. The reason was because the director of talent recruitment at Star Entertainment, Gao Jiwei, had posted on Weibo. Gao Jiwei typed, Miss Lin Yan, please behave yourself. Our company and I reject any unspoken rules. Although you're very popular now, Star Entertainment doesn't just evaluate artists based on their popularity. We also evaluate them based on their overall qualities. That's all I have to say. Behave yourself. Chapter 421. Shortly after Gao Jiwei's Weibo post was published, the paparazzi released a photo of Lin Yan in Gao Jiwei's office late at night. Gao Jiwei's Weibo post caused a commotion. F***ck. What did I just see? Isn't he Lin Yan's manager? Does he mean that Lin Yan went to his office and asked to be with him? Ha ha ha. He has made himself very clear, right? Not only did she ask to be with him, but she was also rejected. Oh my god. This move was way too flashy, right? I thought that Lin Yan had become a fan of Lin Yan because of Lin Pianro's character. Who would have thought that I would be fed a mouthful of sh*t? That's why I said that Lin Yan can't change her ways. She's really capable of doing something like this. Lin Yan's reputation had been terrible, and Gao Jiwei had used his official account to spread the news. Hence, the netizens had believed Gao Jiwei's words. Lin Yan's reputation had only improved for a short while, but now the scolding resumed. They were even more vicious than before. At the same time, Star Entertainment had gained a good reputation for being fair and just. Meanwhile, in Zhao Hongling's apartment, Lin Yan shook her head helplessly as she read the comments. I'm trending again. Duo was so furious that she almost smashed her phone. F***ck. That Gao Jiwei was too shameless. Sister Yan refused to go back, so he tried to ruin her. Zhao Hongling's worst fears had come true. She had expected that Gao Jiwei would make a move, but she had underestimated his shamelessness. The truth was that he had tried to recruit Lin Yan, but she had rejected him. Who would have thought that he would twist the facts and accuse Lin Yan of asking him to be with her, just to return to the company? What the hell is Qianqian talking about? How could she help an evildoer? How could they be so shameless? Duo clicked on an interview with Qianqian. In the video, a reporter asked Qianqian what she thought about Lin Yan's request. The reporter replied, Missin, have you heard about what happened between Lin Yan and your manager, Mr. Gao Jiwei? May I ask if the rumors on the internet are true? And Xianqian seemed to be in a difficult position. She said helplessly, Sigh, I can't say much about this kind of thing. Lin Yan had always wanted to return to the company. After all, given her situation, no company would be willing to sign her. Perhaps she had been too anxious. I didn't expect her to use such a method. And Xianqian didn't seem to answer the reporter's question. But she was implying that Lin Yan was guilty. Coupled with Xianqian's explanation, the public was undoubtedly convinced. The netizens started to criticize Lin Yan more and more. Lin Yan's reputation, which she had painstakingly built up, vanished instantly. From Gao Jiwei's Weibo, to the paparazzi's photos, to Xianqian's interview, it was obvious that Gao Jiwei had planned everything. Lin Yan was reading her own gossip when her phone rang. Lin Yan glanced at Zhao Hongling. Gao Jiwei, Zhao Hongling said. Take it and see what he has to say. Hence, Lin Yan answered the call. Hello. Chapter 422. Gao Jiwei's smug voice was heard. How is it, Lin Yan? Have you made up your mind? Do you still want to talk to me? Lin Yan grinned and feigned ignorance. Talk about what? Director Gao, I don't know what you mean. Gao Jiwei snorted sarcastically. Lass, are you trying to get information out of me so that you can record it? Don't even think about it. You're too young to play with me. Gao Jiwei paused for a moment before he added. Lin Yan, you have 3 days to think about it. Don't blame me for not giving you a chance. After saying this, Gao Jiwei hung up the phone directly. Gao Jiwei's intention was clear. If Lin Yan agreed to return to the company, he would personally clarify the rumors and claim that it was all a misunderstanding. If Lin Yan didn't agree, this stain would follow her for the rest of her life. There was still a chance for her to salvage the situation. However, a female artist would never be able to erase this stain. If Gao Jiwei didn't step forward to clarify the situation, Lin Yan's life would be ruined. Duo stared at her phone as she turned to the two of them anxiously. Sister Yan, Sister Ling, what should we do now that things have come to this? Why aren't you worried at all? Although she was just an assistant, she had seen and experienced many things. She knew how much these rumors could affect a female artist. Gao Jiwei's ploy was too sinister. Lin Yan chuckled softly as she glanced at the lass. Because Gao Jiwei's ploy is too stupid. Duo stammered, ha. Zhao Hongling explained. Gao Jiwei told everyone that Lin Yan had gone to look for him, because she wanted to return to the company. However, the truth is that Lin Yan signed with Summit Entertainment a week ago. Why would an artist who has signed with Summit Entertainment beg Gao Jiwei to join a small company like Star Entertainment? After hearing Zhao Hongling's words, Toto finally reacted. That's right. Sister Yan is already an artist of Summit Entertainment. How could I have forgotten? Duo was agitated. No wonder Sister Yin said that Gao Jiwei's ploy was stupid. Indeed, it was stupid. He would never have guessed that Sister Yin had signed with a company. What's more, it was Summit Entertainment. I'm looking forward to Gao Jiwei's reaction when he finds out the truth. Zhao Hongling was a cautious person, so she didn't celebrate too early. Hence, I have to make a trip to Summit Entertainment to discuss the announcement with the leader. As long as we announce that Lin Yan has signed with Summit Entertainment, Gao Jiwei's rumors will fall apart. Plenty nodded repeatedly. That's right, that's right. Zhao Hongling instructed Lin Yan and Duo. Don't act rashly before I confirm the proposal with Summit Entertainment. After all, she had just joined Summit Entertainment and wasn't familiar with everything there. She had only met Qi Sheng once. She wasn't sure how Summit Entertainment felt about Lin Yan. Although Lin Yan had signed with Summit Entertainment was full of experts and famous artists. She wasn't sure if Summit Entertainment would stand up for Lin Yan. After all, based on her experience, companies didn't like artists with troubles. Qi Sheng also had a lot of artists under him, so his energy was limited. Chapter 423. Sure, Sister Ling. No problem. If there's nothing else, I'll head back now, said Lin Yan. Zhao Hongling stood up to walk her out. Okay, be careful on your way back. Be careful when you go out. Oh yeah, where are you staying now? Is it safe? Lin Yan coughed softly. It's still the same apartment. The security is good, so it's definitely safe. In this world, there was probably no safer place than her. Zhao Hongling nodded. That's good. You've received a lot of work, and the red packet the production crew gave you. You should consider buying a car. That way you'll be safer. Lin Yan replied. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'll look for a car later. Duodua's expression was indescribable. Sister Yin would drive herself? Wouldn't that be even more dangerous? She hadn't forgotten how Lin Yan had raced when she had been surrounded by paparazzi. After chatting with Zhao Hongling, Lin Yan returned to Cloud Manor. When she arrived, she saw Pei Yuqing in the kitchen. Lin Yan swallowed her saliva and leaned over. Ahem. Mr. Pei. Are you going to cook? Pei Yuqing replied. Yeah, I'm back. What do you want to eat? Lin Yan was speechless. Why did he want to cook again? Oh my god. Why did Pei Yuqing like to cook so much? Couldn't a boss like him develop other hobbies? He could play golf, fly a plane, or fly a yacht. How cool would that be? In the end, she realized that Pei Yuqing's life was extremely monotonous. He would stay at home after work. Other than swimming, his only hobbies were cooking and studying all sorts of dark cuisine. Indeed, no one was perfect in this world. Even an immortal boyfriend had a hellish side. What was worse was that Pei Nanxiu never came home during dinner time. Pei Yutong, who often visited her, never appeared during dinner time either. Hence, Lin Yan had no choice but to suffer alone. She had wanted to run away, but she had a mission to complete. She had promised Xingchen that she would help him plead for Lingyu. She had no choice but to bite the bullet and come back. She even had to help the evildoer, and help Pei Yuqing personally. Soon, a table of sumptuous dinner was prepared. After all the dishes were served, Lin Yan whipped out her phone, and found a good angle to snap a photo of the dishes. Pei Yuqing glanced at Lin Yan. Lin Yan hurriedly explained. Mr. Pei, your food looks so good. It's like a work of art. I want to take a photo as a souvenir. As a souvenir, hee. She added Pei Nanxiu and Pei Yutong to the WeChat group, while Pei Yuqing went to the kitchen to get the soup. This car is not going to kindergarten. Ah, sister-in-law, why did you pull us into the group? Pei Nanxiu replied. Big sister-in-law, what happened? Lin Yan sent a photo of the dishes to the group chat with a smiley emoji. Misty city amid the setting sun. Nothing much. I just want you guys to admire your big brother's cooking. Smiling JGP. This is not going to kindergarten. Pei Nanxiu. Chapter 424. Pei Nanxiu and Pei Yutong, who were probably feeling guilty, sent a string of ellipses at the same time. Lin Yan continued to send smiley emojis. Her meaning was obvious. Doesn't your conscience hurt? After waiting for a while, his WeChat beeped again. Pei Yutong sent her a red packet and sent a message. This car isn't going to kindergarten typed. Big sister-in-law, you've worked hard. Pei Nanxiu typed. Big sister-in-law, you've worked hard. Pei Nanxiu typed. Big sister-in-law, you've worked hard. Lin Yan swiftly accepted the 2 red packets, feeling a little comforted. At least they still had some humanity left. Soon, Pei Yuqing brought the last bowl of soup over. Lin Yan turned on the television. Let's watch TV while we eat. This could at least distract her, and make it easier for her to eat. Pei Yuqing replied, okay. Thus, the 2 of them sat together harmoniously, watching TV while eating. Right now, she was in the most luxurious villa in the capital city. She was sitting next to a man who could mesmerize all living beings. She was enjoying her meal while watching TV. It was all worth it. Unfortunately, when Lin Yan took the first bite of the braised pork, everything turned into ashes. She felt as though the Grim Reaper was walking towards her with a scythe. Yesterday, the director of Star Entertainment's talent recruitment department, Gao Jiwei, posted a post on Weibo. He accused Lin Yan of asking to be a prostitute in order to get into the company. However, she was rejected. The moment this news was published, it caused a sensation online. Lin Yan was in the middle of eating when she heard the news. She was the main character of the news. Air. Cough. Lin Yan coughed violently. Why was she watching TV and seeing gossip about her? Pei Yuqing, who seemed to have noticed the news, turned his attention to the screen. It is reported that Lin Yan has been involved in scandals with several male celebrities. Recently, she won the hearts of many fans because of her movie Meeting One's match. Who would have thought that this would happen in just a few days? Nowadays, it was all web TV that could directly display the bullet screen. At this moment, there were many netizens' comments floating on the big screen. Only a handful of people doubted that Gao Jiwei had any evidence to back up his words. Furthermore, the paparazzi had merely posted photos of Lin Yan entering Star Entertainment. There was no evidence at all. However, the majority of the people ignored that. Instead, the comments section was flooded with insults. What do you mean empty words? She is the director of an entertainment company. She has already come out to testify. How can she be wrongly accused? The paparazzi's photos have already been released. If she wasn't a ghost, why would she look for Gao Jiwei in the middle of the night? Moreover, Qianqian, an artist from the same company as her, had already come forward to testify. There was evidence and witnesses. How could Lin Yan try to clear her name? She hasn't come out to say anything yet. Isn't it because she has a guilty conscience? This woman is so disgusting. I used to like her character Lin Pianro so much, but now I feel like I've eaten sh*t. She doesn't deserve to be my goddess. This cancer should have been kicked out of the entertainment industry a long time ago. Lin Yan was already used to these comments. However, at this moment, she suddenly shuddered as a chill ran down her spine. Babes, I'm going to publish 8 chapters first. I need to edit the rest, so I'll publish them later. Chapter 425. Instinctively, Lin Yan turned to glance at Pei Yuqing. The man's face was as cold and aloof as ever. He didn't seem to be showing any special emotions, as though the coldness that had flashed by earlier had been an illusion. Pei Yuqing pretended to be nonchalant as he asked, "Do they usually scold you like this?" Lin Yan scratched her head and replied, "Actually, many people just follow the crowd and scold me. You just have to get used to it." Gao Jiwei, was he one of the higher-ups in your previous company? Pei Yuqing asked as he studied the name on the screen. Lin Yan was overwhelmed by the fact that this world-class tycoon was asking her about the trivial matters of an insignificant artist under a small branch company. She was overwhelmed by the favor. Lin Yan replied hastily, "Yeah, he replaced Sister Ling. After that, Sister Ling and I left the company. He must have noticed that I was popular recently, so he wanted to pull me back. I'm already working for you, Mr. Pei. Of course, I couldn't agree to it, so I rejected him. He must have done this to force me to submit." Pei Yuqing curled his lips when he heard her say that she was working for him. "How do you plan to resolve this?" Lin Yan replied, "Actually, it's easy to clarify this matter. Anyway, I signed with Summit Entertainment a long time ago. Think about it. I've already signed with the most impressive management company in the industry. Why would I return to a small company like Star Entertainment? Why would I let a director like him cheat on me? This doesn't make sense at all. Hence, as long as Summit Entertainment announces that I've signed with them, all the rumors will disappear." Pei Yuqing listened patiently to Lin Yan's solution. After some time, he nodded and asked, "Do you need my help?" Lin Yan replied, "Huh? Help me with what?" Pei Yuqing replied, "The official announcement." Lin Yan almost choked on her rice ball. Ahem. 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 What a joke. Pei Yuqing had to help her announce it. How was she going to announce it? Was she going to use his Weibo account, which was JM Corporation's CEO Pei Yuqing? The entire entertainment industry would be shaken. Lin Yan waved her hands frantically. "No need. Please don't." "Why?" Pei Yuqing raised his eyebrows. Why, didn't he know that in his heart? Lin Yan looked helpless. How should I explain this to you? Why use a butcher's knife to kill a pig? However, she felt that using the term butcher's knife to describe the big boss was too uncool. Hence, Lin Yan racked her brains and said, "It's like using the green dragon crescent blade to slice vegetables, using the heavenly sword to peel an apple, or using the imperial jade seal to smash a walnut. No matter what, it's not suitable. How could a character like him be fit to do that? Even if you want to help me, I wouldn't be willing to use it. Pei Yuqing listened to the girl's description, and the fact that she couldn't bear to part with him. He lowered his head and chuckled softly. Did you smear honey on your lips? Lin Yan replied earnestly. No, I didn't. I said it from the bottom of my heart. Pei Yuqing tilted his head and smiled as he watched the girl quietly. Then, he leaned forward and inched closer to the girl finally. As Lin Yan's eyes widened, he planted a gentle kiss on the corner of her lips. The next second, the man's low and hoarse voice rang in her ears. It's obviously sweet. Mobile users, please browse and read. For a better reading experience, please visit the website. Chapter 426. Lin Yan was speechless. She felt that if they continued to cohabit, she wouldn't be able to withstand the sugar-coated bullets. No, she had to calm down. She had to calm down. Lin Yan hurriedly ate a few mouthfuls of food. In the end, it worked and she calmed down. 3 days later, Meeting One's Match had been nominated for the Best Actor, Best Director, and Best Screenplay awards at the Capital City Film Festival. Lin Yan had been invited because of her role as Lin Pianruo. Usually, the guests would come in pairs. However, given Lin Yan's current situation, no one was willing to enter with her. Pei Nanxu grinned and said, "This film is the result of everyone's hard work. Why don't we enter together?" Initially, Pei Nanxu should have entered with Jiang Sifei, the female lead. However, since Pei Nanxu had suggested it personally, and his suggestion was reasonable, no one had any objections. Feng Anhua, who had to respect Pei Nanxu's suggestion, chimed in immediately. Mr. Pei is right. Let's enter together. Jiang Yiming nodded in agreement. Sure. Lin Yan knew that Pei Nanxu was afraid that she would feel awkward. However, it wouldn't be convenient for him to accompany her. Hence, she nodded gratefully at Pei Nanxu. Jiang Sifei's face darkened. She wanted to say something, but Feng Anhua and Jiang Yiming had already spoken up. Hence, she shut her mouth. At this time, another actress in a yellow gown, who was the supporting actress of the show, muttered unhappily. Why did they have to send us into the show with this kind of person? Who knows how many men she has slept with? She might even have gotten this role through sleeping with her. I don't even want to stand next to her. Jiang Sifei replied gracefully. Since Mr. Pei has said so, let's enter together. Jiang Sifei had thought things through. Why should she be angry with this woman? She was going to leave the entertainment industry soon anyway. I really don't understand why Mr. Pei always takes care of Lin Yan. That vixen is so shameless. She even tries to seduce men. The actress followed her reluctantly. Next up is the crew of Meeting One's Match. Pei Nanxu, Lin Yan, and the others strode across the red carpet. The group of them stepped onto the stage and attracted a lot of attention. Most of them were directed at Lin Yan. After all, everyone was always more interested in gossip and gossip, especially this kind of peachy gossip. I can't believe that Lin Yan still has the guts to go out after being scolded so badly online. Isn't she always so thick-skinned? What was there to be afraid of? TSK. In order to be taken in, she even slept with her manager. She's really something. The funniest thing is that I was rejected. How embarrassing. If it were me, I would have just left the industry. I wouldn't have the face to stay. Oh yes, I heard that the director of Star Entertainment is here today. Do you think there will be a fight later? Soon, everyone entered the venue. Meeting One's Match turned the tables and became the biggest winner. It won all the awards it was nominated for. The winner of the Best Actor award is. The MC looked at the big screen and said, Meeting One's Match is Chen Jing. Congratulations. Chapter 427. At the same time, some classic scenes from the movie appeared on the screen. There was one scene that took up most of the time. It was the scene between Pei Nanxu and Lin Yan. Although everyone was disdainful of Lin Yan, they couldn't deny that Lin Yan's performance in the movie had been outstanding. It was no wonder that she had become so popular. Regardless of whether it was her scenes with Wei Shufeng or Pei Nanxiu, she had never been flirtatious. If Lin Yan had had more scenes instead of being the supporting actress, she would have won many awards. Lin Yan, who was the main character, felt conflicted as she watched this scene. That was because this scene was actually done when she was acting up, and was unconsciously done. After the movie had been released, many bloggers had edited the clips and paired Lin Pianruo up with Wei Shufeng. There were also many who supported her and Pei Nanxiu. Some cults had even edited out her scenes with Wei Shufeng and Pei Nanxiu. They had made it seem like she was the one who had suffered the consequences of her actions. To be honest, Lin Yan found it rather thrilling. She had been so good when she had acted with Pei Nanxiu. She had almost fallen in love with herself. Soon the award ceremony ended, and there was an interview session. Lin Yan had just stepped out of the hall and was about to walk to a corner when someone suddenly walked up to her. Lin Yan raised an eyebrow when she saw Gao Zhiwei walking toward her. She glanced at him discreetly. Gao Zhiwei looked as though he had everything under his control as he surveyed Lin Yan. Lin Yan, what do you think? 3 days have passed. Have you made up your mind? Looking at Gao Zhiwei's expression, he probably knew that she would definitely compromise. After all, unless Gao Zhiwei clarified himself, she wouldn't be able to clear her name. Lin Yan grinned. Director Gao, I think I've already told you that day at the office. I've already signed with another company. Gao Zhiwei hadn't expected Lin Yan to be so stubborn. His face darkened instantly. Lin Yan, I have already asked around. No company has signed you. I think you won't give up until you see your coffin. He had already inquired about it. Lin Yan pondered for a moment, and deduced that Gao Zhiwei must have been trying to find out about 3rd or 4th tier companies. In that case, he wouldn't be able to find out anything, and would assume that she hadn't signed a contract yet. Lin Yan didn't explain. Instead, she grinned and said, I really want to meet him. I just don't know who will cry. You. Gao Zhiwei's face darkened. Fine. Lin Yan. You are very good. You forced me to do this. Don't regret it. Gao Zhiwei snorted and turned to leave. Lin Yan patted the non-existent dust off her clothes nonchalantly as she sauntered out of the room. Sister Ling had already reached an agreement with Summit Entertainment. Although Qi Sheng was unhappy with the mess she had caused, he had agreed to release a statement to prove that Lin Yan was now an artist of Summit Entertainment. Although Qi Sheng didn't make a personal appearance, it was enough for the PR department to make a statement. After the award ceremony, the artists relaxed and chatted with each other backstage while waiting for the interview. Mini Theater Lin Yan stared at herself and Pei Nanxiu in the trailer. Oh my god. I'm so good at acting. I'm about to fall in love with myself. Actually, you love me. Mobile users, please browse and read. For a better reading experience, please visit IAI. Chapter 428. I heard many praises about Lin Yan's acting in Meeting One's Match, but I didn't think much of it. Who would have thought that she would be so amazing after watching the trailer today? No wonder she has been so popular recently. A male actor exclaimed. The female actress in the yellow dress remarked scornfully. It's a pity that no matter how much she has improved and acted, her character is terrible. She seduced a married man in public. She is a disgrace to the entertainment industry. I'm embarrassed to admit that I've worked with her before. The female actress in the yellow dress was the supporting actress of Meeting One's Match. Her situation was similar to Jiang Sifei's, as Lin Yan had stolen all the limelight. Naturally, she was unhappy with Lin Yan. When she found out about Lin Yan's scandal, she was the first to gloat over her misfortune. She even reposted Gao Zhiwei's Weibo post and lamented the degeneracy of the world. She even made up a story about Lin Yan's flirting. Lin Yan was standing nearby, but the female actress didn't lower her voice at all. She seemed to be purposely letting Lin Yan hear her. Lin Yan ignored her and stood there quietly. I heard that she likes to gain popularity and create scandals. But why would she seduce a married man? Someone asked curiously. Haven't you heard about the latest gossip? What gossip? I've been filming in seclusion, so I haven't been paying attention to the news. Hey, let me tell you. The female actress, started gossiping to the people around her. She tugged at Jiang Sifei and said, Lin Yan has always been promiscuous when she was filming. She seduced men and attracted butterflies. Even Mr. Pei treats her differently. How shameless. If you don't believe me, you can ask Best Actress Jiang. Jiang Sifei replied awkwardly, This? I can't say for sure. However, your attitude toward Lin Yan is indeed different from how he treats other people. Even Jiang Sifei and the female actress in the yellow dress, who had been filming with Lin Yan, had confirmed their suspicions. All of them cast disgusted glances at Lin Yan. No matter how good her acting was, she would still be despicable if she had no morals. Besides, she had seduced a married man. At this moment, the reporters arrived one after another. Lin Yan and Gao Jiwei's relationship had been a hot topic recently, so the reporters swarmed towards Lin Yan. Lin Yan was surrounded by reporters in no time. Jiang Sifei and the others watched coldly from the sidelines as they watched the drama unfold. Miss Lin Yan, what do you think about Mr. Gao Jiwei, the director of the talent recruitment department, criticizing you? A few days ago, you went to the company to look for Mr. Gao Jiwei in the middle of the night. Was it just as he said? You deliberately seduced him with your body in order to get the contract. May I ask if you know that Mr. Gao Jiwei is married? Don't you think you're being immoral? Lin Yan's expression didn't change in the face of the reporter's questions. Sorry, I don't think I have a reason to do that. The reporters got even more excited when they heard Lin Yan's reply. There are witnesses and material evidence. Do you still want to deny it? Then can you please explain what the paparazzi's photos are about? Also, Ms. Qianqian from the same company has testified against you. Did everyone wrongly accuse you? Mobile users, please browse and read. For a better reading experience, please visit IAI. Chapter 429. Lin Yan chuckled mockingly as she listened to them. Witness and material evidence? There was a photo of Qianqian walking out of the company building with her agent, Zhao Hongling. Qianqian was originally Gao Jiwei's artist, so she would naturally speak up for Gao Jiwei. How could such a ridiculous piece of evidence be used as solid evidence? Because of the impression that she had left on the public, they were certain that she had done something like that. Gao Jiwei was certain of this, which was why he had dared to slander her without any evidence. Suddenly, a reporter spotted Gao Jiwei and Qianqian walking out from the back. The reporters instantly swarmed towards Gao Jiwei and Qianqian. A reporter asked, Director Gao, Lin Yan denied your accusation on Weibo. What do you think? Gao Jiwei glared at Lin Yan viciously and muttered, How could I accuse her of something like this? I didn't go into detail, because she used to be an artist under my company. I have already given her enough face. Since she doesn't know how to repent, don't blame me. Since this B***TCH refused a toast only to be forced to drink a forfeit, she couldn't blame him for being rude. Since he couldn't have her, he would just destroy her. Details? What happened that night in detail? Hearing Gao Jiwei's words, the reporters and the surrounding artists were even more excited. Gao Jiwei pretended to be indignant. That night, she ran into my office in a revealing outfit and stripped naked in front of me. She begged me to take her in. She even said that even if I had a wife, she wouldn't mind. As long as I was willing to take her in, she was willing to do anything. Gao Jiwei glanced at Lin Yan with a pitiful expression. Miss Lin Yan, have you forgotten all about this? The reporters and celebrities were in an uproar when they heard Gao Jiwei. Oh my God. This was a shocking scandal. Lin Yan was too shameless. How could she do such a thing? Lin Yan stared at Gao Jiwei speechlessly. It was a waste of his talent to be a manager. He should have been a scriptwriter or an actor. This ability to make up stories and be a drama queen was simply amazing. Lin Yan glanced at Gao Jiwei unhurriedly. Director Gao, are you sure that I said those words and did those things? Gao Jiwei said fearlessly. Of course, I'm responsible for every word I say. Plus, Qianqian was right beside me at that time. She saw your slutty behavior with her own eyes. It happened 4 days ago. In order to prove his words, Gao Jiwei did not hesitate to throw Enchantian into the water. Lin Yin glanced at Enchantian. "Missin, you were there too." Enchantian naturally had to support Gao Jiwei now. She was certain that Lin Yin wouldn't be able to do anything to them. Hence she said righteously, "That's right. I was there. I didn't tell the public, because we were colleagues. Who knew that you would deny it? Lin Yin, you're too much." Lin Yin nodded in satisfaction when she heard Enchantian. She had no intention of dragging Enchantian into this. Who knew that her manager would drag her into this? Hence, Lin Yin confirmed with both of them. "All right then, let me ask you one last question. Why did I do that?" Chapter 430. Gao Jiwei sneered coldly. "Lin Yin, you're asking the obvious. I chased you out of the company because of your bad behavior. Now, of course you want to return to Star Entertainment. Is there a problem?" At this point, the reporters and artists present completely believed Gao Jiwei's words. Gao Jiwei wanted to seize this opportunity to make a name for himself. Hence, he turned to the crowd and said, "This concerns my reputation. How could I blabber about it? I knew that there was something wrong with her character. That's why I didn't agree to sign her even though she is popular now. Who knew that she would resort to such underhanded methods? I'm a man with a strong family background. How could I do such a thing?" That's right. Lin Yin is really shameless. Does she think that everyone is as immoral as she is? The crowd chimed in when they heard Gao Jiwei's words. They were filled with indignation and admiration for Gao Jiwei's character. Enchantian's film had been nominated as well. However, she was only there to accompany Gao Jiwei. However, Gao Jiwei had made use of his recent hype to gain a good reputation. Many people tried to strike up a conversation with him and expressed their support for him. Gao Jiwei seized the opportunity to build connections. *TCH. Get out of the entertainment industry. Someone in the crowd berated her. Yeah, get out of the entertainment industry. She shouldn't be allowed to spoil the culture of the entertainment industry. How could there be such a shameless person? Some of her crew members even said that she had seduced Mr. Pei. Yeah, I just heard that Mr. Pei treats her very differently. I wonder what tricks she has resorted to this time. Gao Jiwei assumed that Lin Yin was at her wit's end when she remained silent. He stepped forward and sighed pretentiously. Actually, I'm a sentimental person. Lin Yin must have gone astray. Please don't blame her. On account of our past relationship, as long as she works hard in the future, I can sign her. Gao Jiwei was still trying to squeeze every last bit of value out of Lin Yin. He had gotten rid of both the good and the bad guys. Just as everyone was cursing at Lin Yin, Gao Jiwei seized the opportunity to pretend to be a good person. Suddenly, a voice rang out from the entrance. Yo, it's so lively today. Everyone subconsciously looked in the direction of the sound. It was Summit Entertainment's CEO Chu Jiayao. Chu Jiayao was being escorted by a few bodyguards. Pei Nanxiu, the best actor of the year, was walking beside him. No one had expected that the boss of Summit Entertainment would attend the film festival, and they were all excited. Chu Jiayao was a big shot in the entertainment industry. He was the boss of Summit Entertainment. Not only did he have a good eye for talent, but he also had outstanding looks. Even when he stood next to Pei Nanxiu, his aura didn't pale in comparison. Some reporters wanted to seize this opportunity to stop him and interview him. To their surprise, Chu Jiayao walked in their direction. Chu Jiayao was like a smiling tiger. His eyes lingered on Gao Jiwei's face as he grinned. I heard that someone is trying to poach Summit Entertainment's talent. Chapter 431. Everyone, including Gao Jiwei, was stunned when they heard Chu Jiayao's words. For a moment, no one understood what Chu Jiayao meant. Someone was trying to poach Summit Entertainment's talent? Who would be so bold as to poach Chu Jiayao's talent? Who was the talent that Chu Jiayao was referring to? After a moment of silence, a reporter couldn't help but ask cautiously, President Chu, what do you mean by that? Who poached your talent? Chu Jiayao smiled and said, Mr. Gao Jiwei, didn't he say it himself just now? What? Gao Jiwei? What had Gao Jiwei said? He had said Gao Jiwei looked perplexed as well. The reporters tried to recall what Gao Jiwei had said. As long as Lin Yin behaved herself, he could sign her up. Damn it. What was Chu Jiayao trying to say? Could the talent that he was referring to be? That was impossible. He had to be crazy. How could that be possible? A second later, Chu Jiayao, who was still in disbelief, said, I'm really sorry. Miss Lin Yin signed with Summit Entertainment more than a week ago. She is now an artist of Summit Entertainment. Chu Jiayao paused for a moment before he added, Director Gao, I'm afraid it's inappropriate for you to poach my talent in front of everyone. Chu Jiayao's words once again caused a huge uproar. Almost everyone was stunned. Gao Jiwei was dumbfounded. What? What had Chu Jiayao just said? Was there something wrong with his hearing? F***ck. What did I hear? Chu Jiayao. Chu Jiayao just said that Lin Yin is an artist of Summit Entertainment. You didn't hear wrongly. President Chu said that Lin Yin signed with Summit Entertainment more than a week ago. That can't be true. How is that possible? That's Summit Entertainment. The most impressive management company in the entertainment industry, is backed by a multinational conglomerate, JM Corporation. They have strict requirements for their artists. How could Summit Entertainment sign Lin Yin? But Chu Jiayao, the CEO of Summit Entertainment, said it himself. How could it be false? Hearing this, everyone fell into a strange silence. That's right. The boss of Summit Entertainment had said it himself. How could it be false? Pei Nanxiu scanned the crowd and said, Lin Yin has indeed signed with Summit Entertainment a week ago. Her manager Zhao Hongling has also signed with them. The company is preparing to announce it publicly. Even award-winning actor Pei Qian had personally confirmed it. This was a done deal. It couldn't be any more certain. Actually, Lin Yin wasn't the only one who was shocked. She glanced suspiciously at Pei Nanxiu and the president of Summit Entertainment, Chu Jiayao. What was going on? Didn't they say that the PR department would make an official announcement on Weibo? Why did Chu Jiayao, the boss, and Pei Nanxiu, the best actor, personally come out to announce it? Wasn't this official announcement a little too high? Lin Yin could only rejoice that it wasn't Pei Yuqing. Otherwise, there would be no way to clean up this mess. Mr. Pei, are you telling the truth? Has Lin Yin really signed with Summit Entertainment? The reporters scrambled to ask questions. Pei Nanxiu replied, Of course it's true. The Public Relations Department will make an official announcement soon. Chapter 432. A reporter quipped. Rumor has it that you took special care of Lin Yin, and even helped her on the red carpet today, because she signed with Summit Entertainment? We're both artists from the same company, so of course we take care of them. Pei Nanxiu tacitly agreed. Everyone was speechless. Everyone's eyes darted to Gao Jiwei and Qianqian, who were dumbfounded. Lin Yin signed with Summit Entertainment more than a week ago. Why did Gao Jiwei claim that Lin Yin tried to seduce him to sign with Star Entertainment 4 days ago? Someone asked. Nonsense. Do you even need to ask? Gao Jiwei must have slandered her. Otherwise, Lin Yin would have signed with Summit Entertainment. Why would she need to seduce him and beg him to join Star Entertainment? Is he out of his mind? F***ck. In the end, the truth was that Gao Jiwei had been acting and directing by himself all along. At this moment, faced with more and more doubts, Gao Jiwei's mind had already gone blank, and cold sweat dripped down his forehead. Lin Yin and Zhao Hongling had told him that they had signed with other companies, but he hadn't believed them. He had even investigated them personally to make sure that they hadn't signed with other companies. How could he have imagined that Lin Yin would sign with Summit Entertainment? Furthermore, she had signed with them more than a week ago. This time, no matter how he tried to explain, he wouldn't be able to clear his name. Oh my God! Who would have thought that Gao Jiwei would look so indignant earlier on? He even said that Lin Yin had stripped naked and begged him to take her in. It turns out that he was just making up stories. Pfft! He is really good at making up stories. No wonder Lin Yin said that she had no reason to do that. She has already signed with Summit Entertainment. Why would she look for Gao Jiwei? Gao Jiwei's subordinate in Qianqian, isn't she a good person either? She even tried to cover up Gao Jiwei's lies. I understand now. Gao Jiwei chased Lin Yan out and saw that she had become popular. Now he wants to sign her and earn more money. However, Lin Yan refused, so he resorted to this underhanded method to twist the truth and force Lin Yan to submit. This is too shameless. That must be it. Who would have thought that Lin Yan would sign with Summit Entertainment? TSK. What a slap to the face. By now, Gao Jiwei and Yin Qianqian were the ones who couldn't explain themselves. Their evidence wasn't strong enough to begin with. Now that Summit Entertainment's boss and top artists had come out to announce it, the truth was out. Gao Jiwei wiped his sweat away and explained anxiously. No, it's not like that. It's a misunderstanding. That night, Lin Yan wanted to talk to me about work. I must have misunderstood her. He had already told them how Lin Yan had seduced him. Who would believe him now that he was claiming that it was a misunderstanding? And Qianqian was filled with regret. If she had known this would happen, she would not have testified for Gao Jiwei. In the end, she was dragged into this mess by Gao Jiwei. If she slandered her peers like this, how was she going to survive in the industry in the future? Jiang Sifei, who had been waiting to watch the drama unfold, was even more anxious. Jiang Sifei lost control of herself and blurted out, This is impossible. How could Lin Yan sign with Summit Entertainment? Chapter 433. She was an award-winning actress, yet she had been rejected by Summit Entertainment. She had no choice but to sign with House of Millions Media, a subsidiary of Triumph Entertainment. How had Lin Yan managed to join a big company like Summit Entertainment? When Chu Jiao heard Jiang Sifei's question, he glanced at her sharply. Although he still had a smile on his face, there was no warmth in it. Summit Entertainment doesn't have to explain its decisions to outsiders. If anyone else had said this, they would have doubted him. However, Summit Entertainment had the right to be arrogant. After all, his boss was the CEO of JM Corporation. Who was he afraid of? Chu Jiao's words silenced everyone else's doubts. Jiang Sifei stood rooted to the ground, looking pale. She was so angry that her limbs had turned cold. Zhao Hongling and Lin Yan had both joined Summit Entertainment. This fact was enough to corrode her to the point of insanity from jealousy. In the end, this farce ended. Summit Entertainment's official Weibo account made an announcement shortly after the reporter's interview. It also announced that it reserved the right to pursue legal action against the person who had started the rumors. The netizens finally learned the truth. All of this turned out to be a self-directed and self-acted play by Gao Jiwei to distort the truth. The public's opinion changed instantly. Those who had cursed Lin Yan started to curse Gao Jiwei again. Some of them were shocked that Lin Yan had joined Summit Entertainment. I didn't expect this to be the truth. How could Gao Jiwei be so shameless? Actually, there wasn't any concrete evidence. Gao Jiwei and his artists had spread rumors without any proof. In the end, everyone believed them without a second thought. Lin Yan is really unlucky this time. If she hadn't signed with Summit Entertainment, she wouldn't have been able to clear her name. Let's stand on Lin Yan's side this time. Regardless of what people have said about her, she has indeed been wrongly accused this time. For a female artist, this kind of accusation was simply trying to ruin her. If you can't get her, you'll destroy her? That's too scary. At the same time, in a luxurious villa in the capital city, Lin Shuya had also received the news. Clang! She threw the cup in her hand onto the ground forcefully. Lin Yan has signed with Summit Entertainment? How is that possible? Initially, Lin Shuya hadn't even bothered to make a move. She had been certain that Gao Jiwei would deal with Lin Yan, so she had been waiting for them to fight. All she needed to do was add fuel to the fire. Who would have thought that Lin Yan would sign with Summit Entertainment without anyone knowing? It would have been fine if it had been any other company, but it had to be Summit Entertainment. No matter how powerful Triumph Entertainment was, it couldn't be compared to Summit Entertainment. If Lin Yan really signed with Summit Entertainment, It would be extremely difficult for her to do anything to her in the future. He Shanshan chimed in to fawn over her. Cousin, don't be too angry. So what if Lin Yin was lucky enough to sign with Summit Entertainment? Summit Entertainment has so many talented artists. She's nothing compared to them. Besides, you're about to star in an international production, while I'm still stuck at the bottom. She can't even touch your skirt. Lin Shi's expression softened when she heard this. Lin Yin, I have underestimated you. However, this was also good. It was only interesting this way. Since she wants to experience the feeling of falling from heaven to hell, I don't mind fulfilling her wish. This time, she was going to do it herself. Mobile users, please browse and read. For a better reading experience, please visit IAI. Chapter 434. After the interview, Lin Yin thanked Pei Nanxiu and Chu Jiayao. You're welcome. She's our artist. Of course, we have to protect her. Chu Jiayao, who didn't put on any airs, surveyed Lin Yin curiously. Oh yeah, Miss Lin. Are you very close to Nanxiu? Chu Jiayao was really curious about Lin Yin and Pei Nanxiu's relationship. Hence, he seized the opportunity to gossip. Lin Yin hadn't expected her boss to be so down-to-earth. She didn't know how to answer him. Pei Nanxiu looked helpless. President Chu, didn't I tell you that we're just friends? We're just friends. I recommended Lin Yin to you, because I think she's capable. Chu Jiayao clicked his tongue, looking as though he didn't believe him. Do you think this is the first time I've met you? You've never asked about the company's affairs. This is the first time you've recommended an artist to me. There must be something fishy going on. Chu Jiayao looked certain. Pei Nanxiu exchanged a helpless glance with Lin Yin. At this rate, Chu Jiayao's thoughts would get even more twisted. Sure enough, the next second, Chu Jiayao squinted his eyes and asked, in front of me, the boss, you two better tell me the truth. Are you two dating or not? Puffed. Lin Yin was almost scared to death. She and Pei Nanxiu were dating? How could that be possible? Pei Nanxiu was speechless as well. President Chu, no. It's not what you think. Lin Yin chimed in. How could that be? There's absolutely nothing like that. Chu Jiayao's eyes darted back and forth between them. If you're not dating, why would Nanxiu be so protective of you? Although he seems gentle, he would never cross the line, especially when it comes to female artists. Lin Yin was speechless. Lin Yin could tell that Chu Jiayao wasn't just a gossipy old fox. He wasn't easy to fool. In order to prevent him from making more dangerous guesses, Lin Yin said, I'm actually related to Mr. Pei. You're related? Chu Jiayao was startled. Why didn't I know that the Pei family had a relative like you? It wasn't that Chu Jiayao looked down on Lin Yin, but the Pei family couldn't possibly have a relative like her. Lin Yin coughed softly and explained in the same way she had with Duo. He's a distant relative who isn't related by blood. Mr. Pei is a kind person, so he was willing to help me. Chu Jiayao narrowed his eyes. I'll take that as the truth. Then why didn't Nanxiu help you before? Why wait until now? Lin Yin was rendered speechless as she muttered under her breath. That was because she had recently fallen in love with Pei Nanxiu's big brother. That was why they had become relatives. Pei Nanxiu didn't know whether to laugh or cry when he heard Lin Yan's muttering. There was nothing wrong with Lin Yan's words. What did you say? Chu Jiayao hadn't heard Lin Yin. Lin Yin hastily replied. Nothing. I mean, I'm telling the truth. I would never dare lie to you, President Chu. If I'm lying, may I be struck by lightning? Chu Jiayao rubbed his chin. Really? Pei Nanxiu interrupted Chu Jiayao helplessly and told Lin Yin. Lin Yin, you can go back now. Oh, okay. I'll get going then. Lin Yin hurriedly left before Chu Jiayao could continue asking questions. Chapter 435. She wasn't sure if Pei Nanxiu and Pei Yutong had found their conscience after seeing the picture she had posted in the group chat. But for the first time, they had appeared at dinner together. Lin Yin was surprised. Dad, I'm home. Aren't you touched? Pei Yutong inched closer to Lin Yin, eager to claim credit. Pei Nanshi was used to Pei Yutong calling Lin Yin dad whenever Big Brother wasn't around. He shook his head helplessly and chuckled. Lin Yin rolled her eyes at Pei Yutong. Why would I be touched? If you're so capable, come back and have dinner with your brother every day. Pei Yutong chuckled dryly. How could I do that? After all, I'm a runaway. This isn't appropriate. I think second brother is more suitable. Pei Nanshi hadn't expected that he would be betrayed by his own brother. He looked rather speechless. He was about to speak when he heard footsteps outside. Pei Yuqing had returned. Lin Yin hurried over to welcome him. She took his coat from him and asked, Mr. Pei, did you get off work so early today? Yeah. Have you settled the matter? Pei Yuqing lowered his head and kissed Lin Yan's forehead. Lin Yin was dumbfounded. This was simply like a pair of newlyweds. A husband would kiss his wife when he was home. Lin Yin, who was frightened by her own thoughts, hurriedly pretended to be nonchalant. She forced herself to remain calm and replied, Yeah. I didn't expect the boss of Summit Entertainment to speak up for me. Mr. Pei also explained the situation to the reporters. Pei Yuqing nodded. That's good. Lin Yin glanced at Pei Yuqing, who seemed to have expected this. Ahem. Mr. Pei, did you arrange this? Pei Nanxiu, who overheard their conversation, explained. Big Brother did ask me to do this. I happened to be there, so I asked President Chu to accompany me. Lin Yin muttered. That's true. Why? Are you not satisfied? Pei Yuqing chuckled. Didn't you think that my announcement was too high? Lin Yin was speechless. Was that why he was so considerate as to lower the standard for her? However, it was still too high, okay? How could a small artist like her be personally announced by the company's boss? What's more, Pei Nanshi was a top celebrity in the entertainment industry. Alright, for a big boss, this was probably considered very low in his eyes. No, I'm satisfied. Very satisfied. Lin Yin replied meekly. Thank you, Mr. Pei. Thank you so much. Pei Yuqing narrowed his eyes when he heard her address him. Miss Lin, the way you address me doesn't seem to be very familiar. Lin Yin was taken aback. That seemed to be the case. She had always addressed him politely. Pei Yutong picked up the apple on the table and munched on it as he said, That's right. I wanted to say that big sister-in-law is really weird. Lin Yin glared at Pei Yutong and scratched her head. She glanced at Pei Yuqing and said, I'm used to it. I can't change it. If I call you by your name, it would be disrespectful. Chapter 436. Lin Yin instinctively called him you again. She tried to imagine herself calling Pei Yuqing by his nickname. Yuqing, Aching, F***ck. She couldn't call him that. It was too mushy. Lin Yin, who was a straightforward girl, couldn't bring herself to call him that. Big Brother can't wait for you to be disrespectful to him. Pei Yutong muttered. Lin Yin was speechless. Could this kid shut up? Lin Yan's eyes darted around as she grinned at Pei Yuqing. Mr. Pei, actually, I think it's good to address you as you. Pei Yuqing raised his eyebrows and glanced at the girl. Oh, why do you say that, Miss Lin? Lin Yin coughed softly and explained slowly. The meaning of the word you is that you're in my heart. Pei Yuqing was speechless. Pei Nanshi was speechless. Pei Yutong was speechless. You're in my heart. The girl's clear voice was like the purest jade that gently knocked on Pei Yuqing's heart. In an instant, Pei Yuqing felt as though the entire world was melting in front of him. The you, which had been a distance between them, had suddenly become charming and gentle. Pei Yuqing seemed startled for a moment, before he smiled helplessly and gazed at the girl. Miss Lin, you're really good at coaxing people. Lin Yin blushed instantly. How could she be good at it? He was the one who had flirted with her, without a care for his life. Pei Yutong nodded vigorously when he heard his big brother. Big sister-in-law was really good at coaxing people. That level of skill was simply like a lotus flower on the tongue. He simply gasped in amazement, and prostrated himself in worship. The next morning Lin Yin woke up naturally. Everything had been resolved, so she could finally relax for a while. She would just have to wait for Sister Ling's work arrangements. Lin Yin had just finished washing up when Pei Yutong's voice came from outside. Daddy, are you there? Daddy, the door isn't locked, replied Lin Yan. Pei Yutong pushed the door open and strode in. Pei Yutong was different from usual. He looked as though he had been injected with adrenaline, and his eyes gleamed with excitement. Why are you so excited? Did the team win? Lin Yan sat on the couch and glanced at Pei Yutong. The team? Pei Yutong was startled when he heard Lin Yan. He snapped back to his senses and shook his head hastily. I didn't win. My team did participate in a few competitions, but we lost more than we won. Oh yeah, my team competed against the He family team and won. Lin Yan was speechless. Could he not emphasize that they had beaten the He family team? Wasn't it a given that they had beaten the He family team? However, Lin Yan wasn't too worried about the He family team. The He family team had managed to attract a lot of sponsors and investments. Their equipment had also been upgraded. I'm not here to talk to you about winning against the He family team. Pei Yutong surveyed his surroundings before he approached Lin Yan, with a mysterious look on his face. Sister-in-law, please don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. Pei Yutong said cautiously. Sister-in-law, please don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. Pei Yutong said cautiously. Why are you being so mysterious? Lin Yan's curiosity was piqued by Pei Yutong. Mobile users, please browse and read. For a better reading experience, please visit IAI. Chapter 437. No, you have to promise me that you won't tell anyone. Otherwise, the consequences will be unimaginable. Pei Yutong quipped. Then don't tell me. Lin Yan shrugged nonchalantly. Pei Yutong was startled when he heard Lin Yan. He hadn't expected that Lin Yan would be so unconventional. Sister-in-law, why are you like this? Forget it. I'll tell you. Pei Yutong inched closer to Lin Yan. Hurry up and say it. Lin Yan sounded impatient. Sister-in-law, you're considered a legend in the racing industry. You should know the racetrack's Grim Reaper, right? Pei Yutong muttered softly. Lin Yan hadn't expected Pei Yutong to mention Yeva all of a sudden. What did Pei Yutong's words have to do with Yeva? I've heard of her. Why? Lin Yan nodded. Sister-in-law, let me tell you something. The racetrack's Grim Reaper, Yeva, is the defending champion of the first level of the international competition. She used to compete at the pinnacle of the competition. Lang Mang and Butcher were all taught by Yeva. Pei Yutong looked as though he was about to tell her everything. The corners of Lin Yan's mouth twitched as she interrupted him hastily. I know all that. What are you trying to say? Sister-in-law, the racetrack's Grim Reaper has been retired for some time. There hasn't been any news about her. Aren't you curious about where she went after she retired? Pei Yutong stared intently at Lin Yan. Lin Yan felt a little guilty when Pei Yutong sized her up. Could this kid have discovered her identity? That shouldn't be the case. When had she exposed herself? Could Qi Xiaoyuan have told her? Where? Lin Yan asked softly. Ha ha ha. Sister-in-law, let me tell you a piece of breaking news. The racetrack's Grim Reaper has appeared. She's right in front of you. Pei Yutong exclaimed excitedly. Lin Yan sighed heavily when she heard Pei Yutong. Indeed, she had been exposed. However, how had Pei Yutong discovered her identity? How did you know? Who told you? Lin Yan frowned as she stared at Pei Yutong. It's a friend from my circle, replied Pei Yutong after a moment of silence. Is Qi Xiaoyuan your friend? Asked Lin Yan. Qi Xiaoyuan? Pei Yutong looked confused. Who? Huh. It's not Qi Xiaoyuan. Qi Xiaoyuan was the only one who knew about her identity. However, if Qi Xiaoyuan hadn't betrayed her, who else could it be? Had someone else found out about her identity and told Pei Yutong? Sister-in-law, let me tell you the truth. My friend and I have been invited to attend a private banquet in 3 days. The racetrack's Grim Reaper, Yeva, is currently in the capital city. However, she doesn't appear in public. Hence, only the elites of our circle know about this. Pei Yutong replied. Ha! Lin Yan was confused. She had misunderstood. The racetrack's Grim Reaper wasn't referring to her, but someone else. I think I understand what you're trying to say. Lin Yan glanced at Pei Yutong and replied slowly. You're saying that the elites of our circle have invited the racetrack's Grim Reaper to attend a private banquet. Chapter 438. Pei Yutong nodded eagerly. Yeah, you're right. Sister-in-law, you're so smart. That's exactly what I meant. Although Pei Yutong was extremely excited, Lin Yan had fallen silent. The other racetrack's Grim Reaper. If the racetrack's Grim Reaper was someone else, who was she? F***CK. There's actually an imposter who came to Hua Nation to impersonate me. Wasn't she belittling her? Even if she had retired, how could anyone impersonate her? Sister-in-law, I'm really excited. Do you know that the racetrack's Grim Reaper is my idol? Sister-in-law, have you watched the first level of the international competition? Yeva is really dashing and suave. She can dominate the first level of the international competition just by lying down. I would rather my team lose 10 more races just to meet her. Pei Yutong was getting more excited as he spoke. Pei Yutong continued when Lin Yan remained silent. Sister-in-law, are you interested? Do you want to meet the racetrack's Grim Reaper with me? This is an opportunity that many people would kill to get. No matter how much money they spend, they won't be able to get in. Where is the private banquet being held? Asked Lin Yan. It hasn't been decided yet. They will inform me when they receive any news. I think the person who invited the racetrack's Grim Reaper is an actress. Lin Shuya. She is the one who organized this private banquet and invited many famous racers. Pei Yutong pondered this for a moment before he replied. Lin Shuya. Lin Yan's face darkened when she heard Pei Yutong. Lin Shuya had caused her to be banned from competing years ago. However, Lin Shuya hadn't known that she was Yeva. Besides, Lin Shuya wasn't familiar with the racing industry. She only knew that she was a professional racer. This time, Lin Shuya had invited Yeva, which was interesting. Others might not be aware, but Lin Yan knew that the Yeva that Lin Shuya had invited had to be an imposter. Lin Yan had guessed that Lin Shuya had purposely found a fake Yeva, so that she could land the role of Yeva in Legend. However, on second thought, she realized that it wasn't realistic. No matter what, Lin Shuya was a reputable figure in the entertainment industry. If he found a fake Yeva, it would be too risky. The consequences would be dire if it was exposed. However, it was possible that Lin Shuya had been deceived by Yeva's imposter. Of course, it had nothing to do with her whether Lin Shuya had been deceived or not. However, she couldn't tolerate the fact that someone had impersonated her and used her name to deceive others. Before he could respond, Lin Yan's phone rang. Pei Yutong said, Sister-in-law, think about it. If you want to go, let me know. I'll see if I can get another spot. Pei Yutong immediately slipped away. Lin Yan ignored him and glanced at the caller ID. ZH1Z God. Lin Yan answered God Z's call without hesitation. Is this Miss Lin? God Z's voice came through the phone. Yes, it's me, replied Lin Yan. Miss Lin, are you free this afternoon? Let's go for a cup of coffee. God Z had suddenly called to invite her out for a cup of coffee. God Z, is there something important? Lin Yan got straight to the point. God Z's laughter could be heard from the other end of the line. Indeed, it's about a legendary figure in the racing industry. Which coffee shop? Mobile users, please browse and read. For a better reading experience, please visit IAI. Chapter 439. Before long, Lin Yan received God Z's address. Since it was still early, Lin Yan browsed through her phone. No media had reported that Yeva had appeared in the capital city yet. It seemed like Pei Yutong was right. Only a few people in the industry knew about Yeva's appearance. Since she had assumed someone else's identity, she naturally had to keep a low profile. Lin Yan had never revealed her identity to outsiders or given interviews to the media. Yet they had managed to find a loophole. In the afternoon, Lin Yan headed to the cafe where she had agreed to meet God Z. Lin Yan pushed the door open and entered a private room. There were around a dozen ZH1 members in the room. It seemed like all of them were present. Miss Lin, God Z Mumu, and the others stood up to greet Lin Yan. Lin Yan glanced at Godzi and asked, "Is this about Yeva?" The ZH1 members were taken aback when they heard Lin Yan. Godzi asked in surprise, "How did you know, Miss Lin?" Indeed, Lin Yan's racing skills were top-notch in the country. However, she was still a member of the He family team. A team like the He family team wouldn't be able to interact with the higher-ups of the racing industry, let alone be invited. Hence, the ZH1 members were surprised that Lin Yan knew about Yeva. Pei Yutong told me, Lin Yan explained. I see. Godzi nodded. Lin Yan and Pei Yutong were close, and the ZH1 members knew that. It wouldn't be strange if Pei Yutong had told Lin Yan. Miss Lin, so you already know about it. Godzi glanced at Lin Yan and chuckled softly. To be honest, we were shocked when we first heard the news. Miss Lin, you should know about the racetrack's Grim Reaper. She is considered a legend in the racing industry. Yeva retired temporarily due to her health issues. I didn't expect that she would appear in the capital city. We were even invited. Mumu's eyes gleamed with excitement. Lin Yan sighed inwardly as she studied the ZH1 members' expressions. It seemed like that imposter had some tricks up her sleeves. Otherwise, a top team like ZH1 wouldn't have believed her so easily. Of course I know Yeva. Lin Yan grinned. Miss Lin, are you interested in attending the private dinner in a few days? Godzi asked Lin Yan. Sure. I happen to be free during this period. It would be great if I could broaden my horizons. Lin Yan nodded with a smile. This private banquet was related to Lin Shuya, so Lin Shuya naturally wouldn't invite him. However, given Pei Yutong's relationship with ZH1, it shouldn't be a problem for her to attend. By the way, I haven't had the time to thank Miss Lin. Godzi stood up and stared at Lin Yan intently. Miss Lin, you're ZH1's benefactor. If it hadn't been for you, our team would have been in trouble, replied Godzi. Lin Yan understood that Godzi was referring to the competition with WW. You're welcome. It was nothing, replied Lin Yan. Godzi. Mumu. The ZH1 members were speechless. WW was a formidable opponent to them. Yet Lin Yan had said that it was a piece of cake. However, it was true that Lin Yan had crushed WW's performance on the track. Given Lin Yan's racing skills, she would definitely be able to become one of the top teams in the country if she trained well. She might even have a chance of entering the third level of the international competition. Mobile users, please browse and read. For a better reading experience, please visit IAI. Chapter 440. After the ZH1 members left, Qi Xiaoyuan called Lin Yan. Lin Yan didn't think too much about it as she answered his call. The moment Lin Yan answered, Qi Xiaoyuan's excited voice rang out. Goddess! My idol! You picked up my call. Oh my god! Am I dreaming? Although Qi Xiaoyuan had Lin Yan's contact number, he hadn't dared to contact her. To Qi Xiaoyuan, Lin Yan was an ethereal idol who should only appear at the top international competitions. He, on the other hand, was a fanatic who had been cheering for Yeva. Hence, he would usually think twice about talking to his idol. Boss, is that really you? Am I dreaming? Lin Yan was speechless. Boss, say something. Why don't you calm down first? Asked Lin Yan. Okay, boss. Please don't hang up. Give me a few seconds. As expected, there was no sound from the other end of the phone. A few seconds later, Qi Xiaoyuan's voice rang out again. Boss, can I see you? I have an urgent matter to report to you. Lin Yan glanced at the desserts and drinks in the room. She hadn't touched them earlier, because she had been discussing the private dinner with ZH1. I'm at the Lu Ding Cafe in the North City. I'll treat you to coffee. Lin Yan glanced at the desserts on the table. And desserts? Wow. Really? Oh my god. If this is a dream, please let me never wake up. Boss, wait for me. I'll be there in a minute. Qi Xiaoyuan had helped her a lot earlier, so she would treat this table of food as a gift to him. Not long after Qi Xiaoyuan hung up the phone, Qi Xiaoyuan pushed open the door and rushed into the private room. Boss, Qi Xiaoyuan was as excited as a child when he saw Lin Yan. Have a seat. Lin Yan gestured to an empty seat. Boss, you're too extravagant. You ordered so much food. And even got a private room. Boss, do you really dote on your fans? Qi Xiaoyuan eyed Lin Yin as he sat down. Oh yeah. Thank you for helping me last time. Lin Yin grinned at Qi Xiaoyuan. If it weren't for Qi Xiaoyuan, she would have been exposed. Boss, look at what you're saying. I'm your #1 diehard VIP fan. I know your style. You never reveal your identity in front of outsiders. And you never accept interviews from the media. Besides, it was really a piece of cake last time. There's nothing more to say. Qi Xiaoyuan said. Qi Xiaoyuan behaved in a completely different manner when he was with Wei Shufeng. In front of Lin Yin, he had transformed from a mature and venomous man to a helpless child. By the way, boss, I want to tell you something shocking. At that moment, Qi Xiaoyuan's excited expression had disappeared. Anger was written all over his face. Boss, do you know that there's a *king bastard who has the gall to impersonate you, boss? Lin Yin was startled when she heard him. Over the phone, Qi Xiaoyuan had said that he had something urgent to report to her. She hadn't expected that it would be about Yeva. Lin Yin couldn't help but study Qi Xiaoyuan. When they had first met, she had assumed that Qi Xiaoyuan was just an official of a competition. However, she had discovered that Qi Xiaoyuan and Wei Shufeng had appeared in the VIP room. She was afraid that this official's identity wasn't as simple as it seemed. Mobile users, please browse and read. For a better reading experience, please visit IAI. Chapter 441. I don't know which son of AB*TCH dared to impersonate you, boss. Her family's ancestral grave was dug up. She did such a heartless thing. Does she think she's a chameleon? She can change into whatever color she wants. Lin Yin couldn't help but sigh at Qi Xiaoyuan's indignant expression. This was what a true fan was like. No, I have to expose this. I want the media to judge her. How dare she impersonate Yeva? How dare her grandfather criticize her for playing chess? How dare her mother buy groceries at a higher price? How dare her father dance at a public square? How dare her mother find out? Lin Yin was speechless. What a ruthless person. Calm down. Lin Yin glanced at Qi Xiaoyuan. She knew that someone was impersonating Yeva. Boss, I'm very calm, replied Qi Xiaoyuan. Lin Yin was speechless. If he was calm, what would happen if he wasn't? My identity is a secret between the two of us. You can't tell anyone. Lin Yin whispered softly. Qi Xiaoyuan slumped against his chair when he heard Lin Yin. This is a secret with boss. Oh my god. I actually have a secret with boss. The corners of Lin Yan's mouth twitched. Why did it sound so strange to hear him say that? Boss, don't worry. I won't tell anyone. However, how should we deal with the imposter? Qi Xiaoyuan sipped his coffee as he asked Lin Yin. Lin Yin asked Qi Xiaoyuan about the imposter. However, Qi Xiaoyuan didn't know anything either. He had no idea what had happened. Qi Xiaoyuan had heard about it from Wei Shufeng before he had received an invitation to a private banquet. However, he wasn't sure where the imposter had come from. It was already evening when she left the cafe. Lin Yin didn't think too much about the imposter. Anyway, she would follow ZH1 and pay Yutong to the banquet in a few days. Lin Yin hailed a cab and headed to the He family's mansion. Ever since Lin Yin had defeated WW, the He family team's status had soared. Recently, they had attracted a lot of sponsors and investments. However, the He family team had lost to another team in the past few days. They hadn't won a single race. Lin Yin knocked on the door of the old mansion. He Lufeng opened the door and was pleasantly surprised to see Lin Yin. Sister Yin, you're finally here. He Lufeng had called Lin Yin a few times in the past few days, but Lin Yin had been busy, so she hadn't answered. Lin Yin was startled when she saw He Lufeng's expression. She walked into the old mansion with a puzzled expression. There were about a dozen people in the mansion. They were the He family team's navigators and racers. However, the members of the He family team were frowning and sighing in frustration. Yan's here. When He Dinkuan saw Lin Yin, he hurried out of the room. Lin Yin nodded at He Dinkuan. Why didn't you tell me that you were coming? Have you had dinner? He Dinkuan asked. Grandfather, I've eaten. Did something happen to the team? Lin Yan asked curiously, sensing that something was amiss. Logically speaking, the He family team's reputation had soared after they had won against WW. They had also attracted sponsors and investments. Logically speaking, they should have a bright future ahead of them, so there shouldn't be any problems. Mobile users, please browse and read. For a better reading experience, please visit II. Chapter 442. Before He Dinkuan could respond, He Lufeng strode forward with a worried expression on his face. Sister Yen, nothing happened. Don't worry. The corners of Lin Yan's mouth twitched when she heard He Lufeng. If nothing had happened, could he have changed his expression? He Lufeng, the team is about to disband. How can you lie to your conscience? One of the navigators glanced at He Lufeng. For some reason, Lin Yan realized that ever since she had joined the He family, every member of the He family team had been glaring at her with disgust and disgust. Exactly. Just tell her the truth. There's no need to be so secretive. After all, why would you be afraid of others finding out about what you did? Lin Yan was perplexed as she listened to the He family team. Had something happened to the He family team? And it had something to do with her? Shut up. He Lufeng frowned. This has nothing to do with Sister Yen. If it hadn't been for Sister Yen, the He family team would have disbanded a long time ago. Haha. Even if it was disbanded, it would have been done in an open and above-board manner. Look at her now. She did something so despicable, and made all the members of the He family team take the blame. You guys. He Lufeng gritted his teeth, but he didn't know how to deal with everyone's comments. Xiaofeng, what happened? Lin Yan's eyes trailed to He Lufeng as she asked. He Lufeng fell silent for a long time before he sighed, and glanced at Lin Yan helplessly. Sister Yen, it's because of the competition between the He family team and WW. Lin Yan couldn't understand. Hadn't the He family team and WW team won the competition? What else was there to say? Haha. Lin Yan, how dare you ask? It's all because the two of you colluded to fix the competition. ZH1 and WW didn't suffer any losses. In the end, we have to bear all the pressure. Qing Li, who had been silent all this while, looked at Lin Yan with disdain in his eyes as he sneered coldly. He Dinkuan frowned at Qing Li's words. That's enough. I'll think of a way to deal with it. Deal with? Qing Li shifted his gaze from Lin Yan to He Dinkuan. Old master, how should we deal with this? Lin Yan is your granddaughter, so of course you'll side with her. Besides, she isn't a racer, and doesn't rely on racing to make a living. Of course she doesn't care. However, all of us will be accused of rigging the competition. Even if the He family team disbanded, which team would dare to hire us? Many members of the He family team agreed with Qing Li's words. Old master, Qing Li is right. If your granddaughter hadn't colluded with someone else to fix the competition, the He family team wouldn't have ended up like this. That's right. If we had known earlier, we would have disbanded the He family team. Now our careers have been ruined. Lin Yan, you're a member of the He family, and the old master's biological granddaughter. How could you treat the He family team, and the old master this way? Has your conscience been eaten by a dog? Chapter 443. Have you had enough? If you want to leave the He family team, just leave. Sister Yin doesn't owe you anything. Even if the competition was rigged, it has nothing to do with you. He Lufeng's face was red as he bellowed at the He family team. So what if the competition was rigged? What did it have to do with them? They were weak, so no other team had been willing to accept them. That was their own problem. How could they blame others for it? Xiaofeng, what happened? Lin Yan glanced at He Lufeng expressionlessly. Lin Yan knew very well whether the competition with WW had been rigged or not. If she had to compete against a team like WW, she might as well give up racing for the rest of her life. That would be an insult to her, as well as to the racing industry. Of course, Lin Yan couldn't be bothered to explain herself to the He family team. Sister Yin. Actually, there were some doubts in the industry at first. They said that the He family team couldn't have beaten WW. There must be something fishy about the result. Furthermore, WW's huge fan base has been stirred up, so the officials have started to investigate. He Lufeng explained softly to Lin Yan. Lin Yan fell into deep thought when she heard him. Actually, Lin Yan wasn't surprised by this outcome. If she had to put herself in their shoes, she wouldn't have believed it either if an ordinary, low-level team had suddenly won against a top team in the international competition. After all, no one knew who she was. Hence, Sister Ling had wanted to use this incident to salvage her reputation. However, after much consideration, Lin Yan decided not to drag racing into the entertainment industry. Sister Yan, someone has uploaded the video of our race against WW. Many famous celebrities have analyzed the video frame by frame. In the end, Sister Yan, your performance wasn't a race. It was just a show. He Lufeng quipped. Lin Yan fell into deep thought. Indeed, she had never taken WW seriously. Her competition with WW on the track was indeed a show. Hence many people, including the organizers, believe that Sister Yan isn't a good racer. You merely won against WW. Frankly speaking, you colluded with WW and ZH1 to fix the race. He Lufeng sighed heavily. If he hadn't witnessed Lin Yan's driving skills, he would have doubted her. WW was one of the top teams in the country. Although it wasn't the best, it was considered a top team. How could someone like Lin Yan, who wasn't even a professional racer, defeat the entire team? Many people in the industry are speculating that Sister Yan is an actress. Perhaps you have colluded with WW and ZH1 to fake the competition to increase your popularity. Lin Yan's eyes remained impassive as she listened to He Lufeng. The most infuriating thing is that WW hasn't responded to these accusations. It's as though they've admitted it. Now all the criticism is directed at the He family team. Out of the 3 sponsors that we had, 2 of them have left. The investors are hesitating and are preparing to withdraw their funds. He Lufeng added. I understand. Lin Yan nodded slightly. WW's silence was within Lin Yan's expectations. Think about it. A top team like WW had already lost to an unknown low-level team. They had already lost all their face. For mobile users, please browse the web for a better reading experience. Chapter 444. Now that there were accusations of match fixing, WW couldn't wait for it to happen. Besides, the He family team had lost a few races in a row. They had already been accused of rigging the competition. All WW had to do was to keep quiet. They wouldn't admit that they had rigged the competition, nor would they deny that they had done so. This was akin to a fig leaf for WW. I knew it. How could she possibly be so capable? How could she have defeated WW alone? That's impossible. After all, she had colluded with them to fix the competition. She wanted to raise her reputation in the entertainment industry and throw the He family team into a pit of fire. The navigator of the He family glared at Lin Yan with a dark expression on his face. Miss Lin Yan, if you were that capable, would you still be in the entertainment industry? Qingli sneered coldly. Lin Yan ignored their sarcasm. Racers and navigators at their level weren't worth arguing with. Her priority now was to solve the problem. No one would believe her even if she tried to explain herself. If someone said that she wasn't capable, there was no need to argue with them. All she had to do was prove herself with her actions. That was all. Sister Yan, the officials haven't exposed the rumor that the competition was rigged yet. If they make an official statement one day, our team will be doomed. He Lufeng quipped. Grandfather, are there any more competitions? Lin Yan's eyes trailed to He Dingquan. He Dingquan nodded and replied, there are still a few small competitions. The He family team was still considered a junior team. Hence, the competitions they competed in were of the same level. The He family team can't continue to lose. Lin Yan pondered this for some time before she spoke up. Given the He family team's current standard, even if they didn't accuse them of rigging the competition, They wouldn't be able to get any sponsors or investments if they continued to lose. Sister Yan, we want to win too. However, we aren't as good as the other teams. Even though we have similar equipment, it will be difficult for us to win. Hilifeng sighed heavily. Lin Yan was well aware of the He family team's racing standards. It would be too much for them to win based on their own abilities. However, the He family team had to change no matter what. Otherwise, it would disband sooner or later. If one's physical strength was insufficient, then they could only replace the hardware. They had to replace all the He family racers who weren't strong enough. The He family team needed fresh blood. Lin Yan had already come up with a plan. Late at night, only Lin Yan, He Dingquan, and He Lufeng were left in He Dingquan's room. Sister Yan, what did you say? Did you replace all the members of the He family team? He Lufeng looked puzzled. If a team doesn't have the ability to control the racetrack, no matter how famous the He family team is, it will only end up being eliminated by other teams. What's the point? Quipped Lin Yan. Actually, He Lufeng and He Dingquan knew what Lin Yan was talking about. But where could they get a group of capable players? Besides, they didn't have such a huge amount of funds. Even if they did, if they were really capable, why would they join a small team like the He family team? Lin Yan replied slowly. No one would reject the opportunity to stand at the top of the world. The top of the world? Old Master He Dingquan and He Lufeng were taken aback, as they couldn't understand Lin Yan at all. Sister Yan, where is the top of the world? Don't tell me you're talking about the He family. He Lufeng looked awkward. If the He family team was at the top of the world, then the world would be a tragic sight. I'm at the top of the world, replied Lin Yan nonchalantly. Mobile users, please browse and read. Mobile users, please browse and read. For a better reading experience, please visit IAI. Chapter 445. After Lin Yan left, He Dingquan sighed heavily and turned to He Lufeng. Xiaofeng, don't talk to Sister Yan about the He family team in the future. You will only add to her worries. Sister Yan has her own problems to deal with. He Dingquan had treated Lin Yan's suggestion of replacing the He family team as a joke. Putting himself in their shoes, he was now a young and capable racer. No matter how much money he was offered, he wouldn't join a junior racer team that had no reputation and no future. It was tantamount to burying his professional youth. Grandfather, what about us? He Lufeng frowned. However, at that moment, Grandpa Sheng fell silent and lit up the cigarette that he had quit for a long time. Xiaofeng, racing has always been my dream. It has become an obsession. However, after so many years, I've suffered defeat and felt helpless. I'm not young anymore. I've been dreaming my whole life. Perhaps, I've been dreaming wrongly. He Lufeng felt a little upset as he watched the old master's lonely back view. He Lufeng knew what racing meant to his grandfather. He had held on to this dream his whole life and had paid a huge price for it. It was an indispensable part of his grandfather's life. However, what had destroyed his grandfather wasn't the suspicion of rigging. It was the hopelessness of the He family team. He Lufeng could still vividly remember how his grandfather had humbly begged the organizers to sponsor and invest in the He family team, all for the continuation of the He family team. However, if the despair on the racetrack was the only thing he wanted, he might as well bury everything in the ground. Perhaps dreams weren't something he should have at his age. At Cloud Manor, the lights were off in Lin Yan's room. There was only a faint glow on the computer screen. Cries of surprise and excitement could be heard from the computer. The screen was showing the career of the racetrack's Grim Reaper. She won. This unknown newcomer defeated the king of the first level of the international competition. GD is the new king. Her name is Yeva. In an instant, Yeva's racing scenes flashed across the screen. Before long, it was Yeva's first failure. Apex tournament. This person has created countless miracles. He led the WZ team to the top, defeated GD, and ushered in the new king of the tournament. However, Yeva and her team WZ had met the end of their reign in the tournament. On the computer, it was clearly visible. The trophy was taken away. Yeva stood below the stage, trembling slightly as she stared at it. What followed was the fall of the new king into the abyss. She once swore that she would enter the pinnacle of the competition and obtain the trophy that belonged to her. Ever since she had been banned from competing, her passion for racing had been sealed. However, the regret he had for the tournament of the apex had never disappeared. After some time, Lin Yan switched off her computer. The He family team was too important to her grandfather. She wouldn't give it up. However, she couldn't represent the He family team in every race. Since that was the case, perhaps she could choose a new group of teammates for herself. Just like his close team in the first league, WZ. Mobile users, please browse and read. For a better reading experience, please visit IAI. Chapter 446. Early the next morning, Lin Yan was woken up by Pei Yutong's call. Sister-in-law, are you awake? I'll go to your room later. I'm hanging up now. Pei Yutong hung up hastily before Lin Yan could respond. Lin Yan rubbed her half-opened eyes as she stared at the phone with an odd expression on her face. Pei Yutong rushed to Lin Yan's room excitedly. Sister-in-law, have you had breakfast? Pei Yutong sat on the couch casually as he glanced at Lin Yan, who had just finished washing up. Lin Yan shook her head. What do you think? That's not important. Pei Yutong grinned. Lin Yan was dumbfounded. What was the point of this kid asking her if she had eaten breakfast? Sister-in-law, did you know that I confirmed yesterday that the racetrack's Grim Reaper, Yeva, has really come to the country? A few executives have seen her before. I heard that she is very beautiful and elegant. Pei Yutong gazed at Lin Yan excitedly. Has the date of the private dinner been confirmed? Asked Lin Yan. Pei Yutong shook his head. It hasn't been decided yet, but it should be happening in the next few days. The top teams in the country will also be competing. I heard that they will be asking Yeva for advice on how to run a lap on the track. I wonder which team will be so lucky. Actually, Lin Yan couldn't figure out why someone would impersonate her. What was their motive? Is it for free? Asked Lin Yan casually. Sister-in-law, how could it be for free? Those people have already paid an exorbitant price to invite Yeva to the country. I reckon that they would have to pay an exorbitant price to race with Yeva. Pei Yutong pondered this for a moment before he explained. Pei Yutong glanced at Lin Yan and jumped in fright. Veins were popping on Lin Yan's forehead, and her eyes looked as though they were about to spit fire. Sister-in-law. Pei Yutong was dumbfounded. Lin Yan looked as though someone owed her millions. Although Lin Yan had been disgusted by the fact that someone had impersonated her, she hadn't been infuriated. However, impersonating her was an exorbitant price. This was absolutely intolerable. This deity was poor, but the impersonator had earned a lot of money. Oh, I'm fine. Lin Yan snapped back to her senses and composed herself before she grinned at him. For some reason, Pei Yutong felt that Lin Yan's smile was odd. Oh right. Suddenly, Lin Yan changed the topic and asked Pei Yutong, how much do you know about the domestic racing industry? Is there anyone who is good at racing? Is there anyone who is good at racing? Is there anyone who is cheap? Ah. Pei Yutong didn't seem to understand Lin Yan. What did it mean to be exceptionally good at racing, but exceptionally bad in the racing circle? Pei Yutong lowered his head and pondered for a moment. Then his eyes lit up. Sister-in-law, it's true. Who? Asked Lin Yan curiously. You. Pei Yutong gazed at Lin Yan solemnly. Sister-in-law, look at you. You're really good at racing, but you're not doing well in the racing industry. You even belong to the He family team. Pei Yutong realized that Lin Yan had been talking about herself. Get lost. Lin Yan glared at Pei Yutong. Mobile users, please browse and read. For a better reading experience, please visit IAI. Chapter 447. Sister-in-law. Why are you asking? Pei Yutong grinned. I plan to recruit some capable racers to join the He family team. Lin Yan didn't hide anything from Pei Yutong. Pei Yutong fell silent for a moment before he frowned at Lin Yan. Sister-in-law, are you serious? She wanted to recruit a capable racer for the He family team. Of course, that wasn't the main point. The main point was that Lin Yan wanted them to be cheap. If Lin Yan hadn't said this, Pei Yutong would have guffawed out loud. This joke had gone too far. The He family team was a low-class team that had never won a race before. Even if they were willing, they wouldn't be able to recruit a racer. Even if they were, they wouldn't be capable enough. Even if they were, how could they let Lin Yan work for free? And it had to be cheap. In this day and age, the average racer's salary was extremely high, okay? Be serious, Lin Yan replied. Okay, sister-in-law. Pei Yutong suppressed his laughter as he replied solemnly, no. Lin Yan was speechless. Sister-in-law, if there really is such a person, remember to tell me. I will poach him, Pei Yutong said. What kind of joke was this? Even his own team was in such a miserable state. It was hard to say whether they were dead or alive. Professional racers? Where was he? He wanted one. Before Lin Yan could respond, Pei Yutong's eyes suddenly sparkled. Sister Yan, sister-in-law. No, daddy. Come to my team. Lin Yan glanced at Pei Yutong. I refuse. Sister-in-law, what future does the He family team have? I will pay you 3 times. No. I will pay you 5 times the price. Do you want to join my team? Pei Yutong blurted out anxiously. If Lin Yan hadn't brought this up, Pei Yutong would have forgotten that he had a genius by his side. It would be unforgivable if he poached her. Lin Yan couldn't help but smack her forehead and sigh inwardly. She shouldn't have asked Pei Yutong these questions. Pei Yutong's team might not necessarily be better than the He family team. If Pei Yutong's team and the He family team were to compete on the track, it would be like 2 chickens pecking at each other. However, Pei Yutong's team still couldn't be compared to the He family's team. Pei Yutong didn't need to worry about sponsorships and investments, nor was he afraid that his team would be disbanded. In terms of ability, the He family team and Pei Yutong's team wouldn't be afraid of each other, even if they were to compete on the track. The other teams were competing to see who was stronger. As for the He family team and Pei Yutong's team, they were competing to see who was better. She would rather die than join his team. Sister-in-law, the He family team is such a weak team. Why don't we disband it? To put it bluntly, we were able to beat WW previously because of the He family team. It was all because of you. The He family team is too weak. Don't you feel aggrieved being in the He family team? However, Lin Yan's words struck Pei Yutong like a blow to his soul. Lin Yan stared at Pei Yutong intently. Your team has raced 12 times in the past 2 months, and lost all of them. The He family team has raced 12 times and lost 10 times. If I remember correctly, the team that lost to the He family team was yours. I watched that race. It was an exciting one. Chapter 448. Indeed, the He family team was extremely lousy. It wouldn't be a problem for anyone else to say this. But where did Pei Yutong get the courage to say this? As Lin Yan recounted the competition, and how Pei Yutong's team had lost to the He family team, the smile on Pei Yutong's face gradually froze. At that moment, Pei Yutong finally understood that his team was indeed weak. They had even lost to the He family team before. However, why had Lin Yan brought this up? This was a huge humiliation to Pei Yutong. It was a humiliation that would nail his racing career to the pillar of shame. Big sister-in-law, listen to me. Actually, we lost to the He family team. Because I didn't compete personally. Pei Yutong sounded indignant. Lin Yan was speechless. Lin Yan had no time to listen to Pei Yutong's nonsense. She chased him out of the room and called ZH1's God Z. The content of the call was the same. ZH1 was a top team, so Lin Yan wasn't familiar with the racing industry in the country. Hence, she wanted to ask God Z. Initially, God Z had agreed readily. However, when he found out that Lin Yan wanted to recruit racers for the He family team, he fell silent. Any capable racer, regardless of their potential or level, would never agree to join a low-level team, like the He family team. No matter how high the salary was, it wasn't realistic. It would be a joke for them to do so. Lin Yan hung up helplessly. Godzi was right. Any capable racer wouldn't be willing to join the He family team. At most, they would attract some useless racers, just like the current He family team members. Since she couldn't count on anyone else, Lin Yan could only search for information on the racing industry in the country. Where were the top teams? Perhaps they were racers who had retired due to some reason. However, after searching for half a day, she found nothing other than the addresses of the team's headquarters. Since there were still a few days to go before the imposter's private banquet, Lin Yan decided to try her luck at the top teams and see if she could poach racers with potential. Of course, Lin Yan didn't dare to poach racers without a reason. The top racers in the country not only received high salaries, but they also received great fame. However, this was limited to the country. At most, they could only rush into the third level of the World Championship. They could only get a ticket to the World Championship to experience the charm of the World Championship. However, what Lin Yan could give them was something that none of the top teams in the country could. She had the ability to lead those capable professional racers into the world of professional racing. It wasn't just a matter of getting a ticket to the world competition and experiencing the atmosphere of the world competition. Then, they would be defeated and return to their countries dejectedly, lamenting the strength of the third division league. What Lin Yan could give them was to lead them to the third level, the second level, and even the first level. Of course, this depended on what kind of racer she was able to poach. If it was the He family team, she would forget about it. She didn't have the ability to do so. He's here to apply for the race driver position. The boy's voice was not loud. A racer? Lin Yan was startled. This boy came to Fire to apply to be a racer? However, looking at the boy's personality, he didn't seem to be suitable for driving fast. If the boy hadn't said so, Lin Yan would have assumed that he was here to apply for a job. Besides, a new team like Fire might not be one of the top teams in the country, but they had strict requirements for their racers. If one didn't have a certain level of fame or ability, Fire wouldn't recruit them. Mobile users, please continue reading. For a better reading experience, please visit the website. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Sword of Destiny YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.